Hey, my name's Julio, and this is my Pokemon Home collection. I, like many other Pokemon trainers, have decided to use Pokemon Home to house our vast collections of Pokemon, and I have taken it upon myself to create the ultimate Pokemon Home living form origin decks. I'm going to go through and kind of go over how I organize my personal Pokemon, as well as kind of how I have structured my living decks. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into Pokemon Home. Now, with Pokemon Home, the way that I have set mine up is I have a landing box. So this is going to be the box that I use if I transfer something in from Pokemon Bank, anything from Pokemon Go, or I just kind of need a space to just drop stuff off temporarily before I organize it. Now, with my box space, I currently have 2,607 Pokemon in this specific account. I do have three Pokemon home accounts. One is for my mainline game Pokemon, one is for my Pokemon Go Pokemon, and then one is for the Pokédexes from the Nintendo Switch games. So I have also decided to organize mine based off of the region. Now, I include the original sprite as well as the shiny sprite next to each other just because I like to see the difference from the original to the shiny. I think that's kind of a cool one, and it helps me kind of keep organized on what Pokemon I need to shiny hunt. I have completed the Generation 1 Pokédex. I'm going to go over that with you guys today. But from there, I'll leave a couple spaces in case they ever add more Pokemon or I need to maneuver and kind of reorganize a little bit if they add variants, things like that. Now, I added these two spaces right here so that the next region would be able to start off on this box. That just keeps it a little bit more organized for myself. Same at the end right here into the Hoenn, Sinnoh, and then spaces, and then etc. So let's go ahead and jump into Kanto. Now, again, I have organized these by region. I try not to do the number, in case I need to reorganize, and then I don't have to go in and rename the box. So just the region is kind of what I go over. All of the original sprites come from a mainline game. For Generation 1, I decided to use the Virtual Console Pokemon. I know a lot of people like to use the Fire Red, Leaf Green, since that's the furthest back that you can go and still bring it up legitimately. So if you were using Fire Red, Leaf Green, that's awesome. There's a challenge in Pokemon Home that has you bring in Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise from Fire Red, Leaf Green. You can use that, but I again chose the Virtual Console. So as you can see, these Pokemon all on that bottom row, you are going to see the Pokemon name, the level, the typing, the original trainer ID. All of these Pokemon do have my original trainer ID on them, except for shiny locked Pokemon that are event giveaways. And then the further down you go, it gives you the language as well as the origin mark. Now, the origin mark is something that actually started in Generation 6. I believe that's when they started adding this, just so that you know what game a Pokemon originated in. For Virtual Console, they have the little Game Boy symbol. Now, my shinies are all from mainline games. They were all hunted legitimately. They were hunted using a variety of different methods. They were hunted using full odds, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee combo chaining. I hunted them in Scarlet and Violet using sandwiches. I did chain fishing. I did a couple Cute Charm TID Pokemon in this list. I'll go over which ones those are. I think Cute Charm TID is legitimate. For those that don't know what Cute Charm TID is, in Generation 4 specifically, whenever you have the right combination of Secret ID and Trainer ID and a Pokemon with Cute Charm at the front of your party, it increases the likelihood of getting a shiny. You do not have to hook your game up to any kind of external software. It's just timing it right. I had probably the most fun I've ever had in Soul Silver and in Diamond using Cute Charm TID. It just made the run more fun, being able to use shinies. I have also done Poke Radar, so I've done a variety of different methods. With that, none of these Pokemon are genned. I did not go into any kind of software and create these Pokemon. Everything is from an original, authentic cartridge and original authentic hardware. So just keep that in mind. Um, from here, again, I have all of my starters. Venusaur has a gender difference. The seed on the flower is the difference on the male and female. This was hunted in the Viridian Forest in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. This was a really long hunt. My Charmander line, these were in Scarlet and Violet. And then this is going to be the Blastoise line, the Squirtle line. These were hunted in the Steamfoam Islands in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And then the Caterpie line was hunted in the Viridian Forest in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Same with the Weedle line. Now, I need to go back and do this for my starters, but for a lot of the Pokemon that have Gmax Factor, I do have those on the Shinies. I need to go in and do it on the base form as well, but I'm going to try and do that over time. Now, again, I have my original Pokemon sprite, I have my shiny sprite, and then I also include the regional variants. So for Rattata, it has the original, and then it has the Alolan. Same with Raticate, the original, and then the Alolan. There's no gender difference on Alolan Rattata, thankfully, so I only had to hunt that once. And then for the Pikachus, I have the male and female variants. The female has the Gmax factor. Unfortunately, this is kind of something that bums me out with the Gmax factor. Once you add it to a Pokemon that has another evolution still, that Pokemon is actually locked into Sword and Shield. You cannot take it into any other game like Scarlet and Violet or Legends Arceus anymore. So just keep that in mind if you guys ever do want to add that on there. If I need to move this Pikachu into another game, I would have to take it back into Sword and Shield, remove the Gmax factor, and then take it back into home, and then it can go into other games. These Ash Hat Pikachus are actually from the second round of giveaways. I missed the original giveaway in Sun and Moon, but during the Sword and Shield era, they did another distribution of it. They added an additional hat, the Ash Hat Pikachu hat. So this is kind of a cool collection. I include these because they're boxable forms of Pikachu, so it is a variance of that. And then we go into the Raichu line. Now, with Raichu, the reason that this one to me is special is because this is a Virtual Console Pikachu that I took into Sun and Moon and then evolved it into an Alolan Raichu. So that's kind of one of the things. If the Pokemon has a pre-evolution in Virtual Console, I go in there and then take it into the next game in order to evolve it. Same with Executor or Execute into Alolan Executor. And then, so for example, Sandslash, this was a TID, Cute Charm TID. Same with Sandslash. But Alolan Sandslash was hunted inside of Sun and Moon. Now this is going to be the Nidoran line male, Nidoran line female. And then the gender difference on the Zubat, Golbat line. I also have Friend Safari Pokemon. I think that was another really fun thing. Right before the 3DS services went down, a lot of people went on to a Reddit post and added other people onto their friend list of their 3DS and were online so that they could have the ability to have all three of their Pokemon show available in their friend safaris. So this was kind of a Pokemon that I caught in a friend's safari that had the grass typing. And so then again, just my regular sprite along with my shiny sprite. Same for this box. Growlithe, Hisuian Growlithe, Arcanine, etc. Right here, this is one of my favorite shinies. This was the first Shalfa that I got in Legends Arceus. I had just gotten the shiny charm, and I ended up running over it, flying over it, and I freaked out whenever I saw it. It was one of the coolest shinies that I have, and it's huge. I love it. And then, so this is one of my favorite shinies. This is a Machop that I ran into that was shiny, and it was full odds in Fire Red and Leaf Green. I'd been grinding in the Victory Road for a while to try to get ready for the Elite Four, and I ran into this guy, and I ended up just having to keep him on my team. I went back through and I leveled him up. I'd named all of my Pokemon after Avatar The Last Airbender names, and so this was the fighting type, so I ended up naming him Sokka. And then again, more Pokemon, and then again the regular Cantonian variants, followed by the Alolan. And now this Gengar right here is very special to me. So this Gengar is from Sun and Moon. I had just finished the trial for Acerola. I had gone back in because I was trying to find a Mimikyu to use on my team, and I ran into a full odds shiny Gengar. This is 1 in 496 odds. I didn't have the shiny charm yet, and so this was a really fun one. I then took this into Sword and Shield. I put the Gmax factor on it. Shiny Gengar, or Shiny Mega Gengar, and Shiny Gmax Gengar are probably one of the coolest shinies out there. So I love that I have this guy. Um, Additionally, from there, again, I have all of my regular and then regionals, chain fished. This was a horsey that I ended up getting in X and Y. All of the Tauros line. This was a cute Charm TID pincer, so this was during the bug catching contest in Soul Silver. I liked this. This is a really cool shiny for me. Just having it in a sports ball to me is really neat. And then, so this Ditto right here is from Gen 2. So basically, or actually, it's technically from Generation 1. It's from the Kanto region. Now, the way that I was able to do this was I took my Lake of Rage Gyarados and I sent it back to Generation 1 from Crystal. In Gen 1, I taught it the Mimic TM and then went into the Pokemon Mansion. I found a Ditto. With that, I had that Ditto transform into the Gyarados, use the move Mimic, and then that copied the IVs onto that Ditto. So in Generation 1 and Generation 2, shininess was determined by EVs. So even if since there wasn't shinies in Gen 1, you can still take it into Gen 2 and that Pokemon would be shiny if it had the right IVs. And so that was the concept behind this Ditto, ended up copying the IVs and ended up being shiny. You can also use it to breed shiny Pokemon. In Generation 2, IVs passed down could help increase the likelihood of a Pokemon being shiny if you had a shiny parent. So just kind of a cool thing. And then I've got my last box right here. I hunted the birds, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. I watch a lot of movies while I'm doing shiny hunts, and I was doing resets in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I was watching the Twilight series, so I named our little Articuno Edward. I named the Zapdos Bella, and then I named the Moltres Jacob. So just kind of a goofy little nicknaming convention that I did. The Galarian birds are the only ones that do not have the ability to have my original trainer ID. These were a giveaway from the Sword and Shield era. This was if you had logged on and did a ranked battle, they gave these away as a prize. With that, I don't want to include the Pokemon Go shinies in here because I do have shiny Moltres, Galarian Moltres in Pokemon Go, but I'd rather save that for my Pokemon Go account, home account. But for right now, in a future game, once we have the ability to shiny hunt those in there, I will go in so that way they've got my original trainer ID. But for right now, these do have the Crown, Wild, and Armor trainer IDs for them. But I'm okay with that because they're from the mainline game. This Mew is the only shiny Mew in my collection, or Pokemon Go Pokemon from my collection for Gen 1. Because there's no legitimate way for me to hunt Mew, I ended up just using the Pokemon Go Mew. There's no other way until we get a method to shiny hunt it. This will do for right now. Mythicals are also kind of the pain of the Pokemon community, but I got Mew way back in 2016 for the year of the Mythical, but I hadn't had the ability to have one with my original trainer ID until BDSP. In BDSP, I got that, so I ended up opting to have this one in my collection, again, because it's going to have my original trainer ID. This Mewtwo was found in Dynamax Adventures. This was well over 100 Dynamax Adventures that I had to do in order to get this shiny Mewtwo, so I love this thing. And then the last shiny for Gen 1 that I went and hunted was Dragonite. The reason that I picked Dragonite specifically was because I wanted a challenge. I used a variety of different methods to get my shinies. I used full odds, I've used Q-Charm TID, shiny sandwiches, combo chaining, but I wanted something that would be memorable, so I ended up picking Dragonite. from White Tree Hollow. So in Generation 5, you can get a shiny Dratini by completing the White Tree Hollow battle area. I went through, got a team ready. That was a lot harder than I expected it to be, and I ended up getting that shiny Dratini after hours and hours battling in the White Tree Hollow. And I took this Dratini and evolved it all the way up into a Dragonite. And so this is Falcor the Dragonite, and I cannot wait until Legend CA so that I can Mega Evolve this in that game. But yeah, this is going to be my Generation 1 kind of Pokemon Home account. And so with that, again, I organize my Pokemon in this fashion because it fits what I need. With my Pokemon Go shinies, like I said, I still count those. They're still valued. Whatever memory you have with the shiny, that's what counts. I just have those in a separate Pokemon Home account just because I like to keep those separate. But yeah, I would love to hear how you guys organize your Pokemon Home accounts. I'm going to go through and do each generation individually in a different video. But yeah, this is kind of the way that I organize my account. Let me know what you guys think.